Transportation Committee meeting to order, please.
That was just feedback.
Getting feedback.
That was me.
You got you? Everybody
Okay.
good? How about David? Everything good?
I did.
Okay, all right. I apologize for that. Okay, for the approval of the minutes, under A is May the 6th, 2024 CPC meeting minutes. I'd like a motion to approve those minutes, please.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second? Second. Second. Got a motion and a second. Any comments or discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Vote on that. Okay, under new business, introduction of A. Morton, Thomas and Associates Incorporated, AMT, as civil engineering and construction services firm for annual fund projects. First of all, you got Mr. Philip Moxley, engineer and project manager, and also Mr. Jeffrey Gilmore, field manager, and also the SCDOT coordinator. Y'all like to come up and say a few words?
Yeah, thank you. Robert invited us here tonight, so we're pleased to be here. We wanted to introduce ourselves. Like you said, we're with AMT, project manager and field manager, and we're going to help Chester County do some civil engineering and help them with the road program this year. So I think that's on the agenda later. So Robert wrote a bunch of the roads. Jeffrey wrote a bunch of the roads this year, so we're here to answer questions and support Robert and whatever y'all may have. So we look forward to working with y'all in the future. And again, if you have any questions about the road, we're here to help answer them.
You didn't have to replace your front end, did you?
No potholes coming over here.
All right, if you rode over some of those bad ones, I'm telling you, we got some bad ones.
Jeffrey might hit some.
Yeah, I was involved in the field survey, and some of them are really bad. So,
All right, good to have y'all on board. Does anybody else have any questions or comments for them? Mr. Hester, you got anything you'd like to say?
I'll just clarify for council. So AMT did win the contract for the 2-year service agreement for our normal C fund allocation. Jeffrey will be what Brian has been. They're kind of the same. So when you look at what Brian, when he would present, Jeffrey will be that person. And so as you all know, I know we have, ICE is still involved. They still have the projects that have just started and the ones that they're currently working on. AMT has all the new projects that you guys are going to vote on, and then next year's as well. And then ICE is also working on the one-time allocation as we go forward. So there's kind of a mix. They'll both be sort of working on Chester roads and different things. So then we've got a great team with both of them on board, and that's just a little clarification.
Good, thank you. Does anybody? Welcome aboard, fellows. We look forward to working with you.
Good to
Thank
be
you.
here. Thank you.
All right, moving along to under B, recommendation of roads to be paid for 2025 using annual C funds. Mr. Robert Hall, Public Works Director. Come forward, Mr. Hall.
Good evening, council. Thanks for the introduction.
I know, never mind. I did, yep,
As a walk-up song.
not today.
Good evening, Chairman, council. I'm here tonight, we here tonight to present the recommendations from Public Works for the upcoming 2025 paving program. One of them is for annual allotment, and one of them is for one-time money. And you should have on your desk it's separated like that, so we'll be going through the first one is the annual list. And I want to say I appreciate the ones that sent the list in. We worked hard putting this list together. We got a lot of hours involved in putting this together, and based on the allocations that we received. We are going to have a number of roads, which is 32 roads will be paved in Chester for next year. 23 of them will be county, and 9 of them will be DOT, which we should be proud of that. And the list that I've provided to you, the DOT requirements for this year is $1,069,725, and we've allocated $1,112,000. And also, talking about the annual, when we went in and put all the roads lists, put the roads list together based on the roads you had given us, we felt like separating the two districts, District 5 and District 6, we felt like it was best to put those two districts together for a contractor to bid on those roads in that certain area. I think we'd get a better bang for our buck with having them both in one area. And with the amount that for the annual allotment is 1.5 million, the two districts 5 and 6, the amount of roads in their district will be 1.2 million with a contingency of 347,000. So the contingency of 347,000 will also help fund our reimbursements from the roads whenever we come and request reimbursements for gravel, rock, signs, materials, and stuff like that. Those funds will come from this contingency here. So my recommendation tonight is that I'm requesting that y'all approve this annual funding list.
Yeah, I know some of us may have put some roads on there that's not on here that dire need of it, but I was talking to Mr. Hall earlier, and he said one of my roads alone would cost $2 million.
Right.
To do it, so you gotta do what you can do and get the biggest bang for your buck, so we appreciate your hard work on this.
Thank you, sir.
I do have one question, just out of curiosity. If I read this right, if I read this right, Foxcroft Drive is in Fort Long. Huntington Drive is in Fort Long. And where is Wellington Drive? Is that in Fort Long also?
It's gonna be in Fort Long. I can't remember exactly where it's at.
Pretty sure all those are in the subdivision.
So that's all pretty much up Shirley Road?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, any more questions? Oh, comments?
I'm very happy with the District 2 list that we got together. Each one of these roads in dire need, and these are roads that I get calls about all the time, so thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let's keep in mind that we're talking about the annual allotment one first.
Yes,
So this one had to be approved
Oh.
separately.
I thought we were talking about the one time.
Robert, let me ask you a question on this Lake Shore Drive. Is that just the road that come off of Lizzie Melton and runs down to the cul-de-sac?
Yes, sir.
It's not any of those other roads
No,
that
sir.
start off of that? Any more questions?
I will ask you about Rocky Creek Road, too. So it's on the list here, of course, and should have asked you this sooner, but
Mr. Wilson, I'm sorry. We're voting on this one.
Correct.
the only thing I'll say is the funds are kind of related if we were to move things around. I hear you.
And if you guys want to continue to talk, I just want everybody to know, we still got to go to C and talk about those and then come back and vote. If you want to vote on them separately, or if you want to change it and vote on them together, that's fine. I want to make sure everybody's clear what we're getting ready to vote on.
So my only question is, we're going to vote on the annual funding one.
That's correct.
And in the annual funding one, there is $347,398.61 left in contingency, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
So if I have a road with a real need, can we bring this back up and use some contingency to get it done?
It can. What typically that contingency, and Robert, you can correct if I'm wrong, but one of the things that we're going to try to do is to get some GIS mapping and a real survey, what's the word I'm trying to find? But more of a real assessment of a 5 and 10-year plan on our roads, as well as we generally allot a certain amount of money to small projects to where, you know, if we got to go put gravel over here, we got to go pave an apron or fix something, we have that small project fund as well. So that's what kind of that contingency is for. It just depends on when you make that request, what's there and what we've got.
Okay. And my other question is, what's the difference in FDR and type C 150 pound? I can't hear you.
FDR is full depth reclamation, where you're digging up the whole road at like 8 inches and putting it back down and topping it.
Okay.
150 pounds is just topping what's there, 150 pounds, which is about 1.5 inches.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right,
So my question earlier actually had to do with contingency. So if the contingency that's in the annual funding, can it be used for other projects within the one-time funding if that's needed there? Or is it locked into these projects with the one-time, with the annual funding on this annual funding sheet?
I wouldn't say that it's locked in,
Okay.
because it's all one, we're putting it all together as one lump sum of money.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that, no, we could not use it on the one time as well.
So along those same lines, back to Rocky Creek Road, as you know, it has the curve in it that has pretty bad visibility, and there's been a lot of accidents in that curve. Is there anything that can be done to improve visibility along that curve? Not necessarily saying straighten it out, but as far as right-of-ways or clearing back or just improving that visibility in the curve on Rocky Creek Road.
I do know they've gone there and brush cut some of those areas back.
And y'all do that, do a really good job with that, but y'all do it and within 2 months, it's all over the road again. And it's already a narrow road. I just wonder if any of that vegetation could be removed and maybe the fence could be put back or something could be worked with on the landowner to improve that visibility. And the reason I bring that up is the contingency. I'm sure that would cost money, and I
Yes.
wasn't sure if there was some contingency we could move around to maybe see if that's a possibility. I'd invite any of the council members to go see that road and see the curve I'm talking about, because there's a lot of houses that live beyond that curve, and so it's a lot of traffic right there, and I know of several things that have happened there. So I'd like to at least look into the possibility of making improvements in that curve.
That's a very good point. And I'd like to also say that once we come back with the on-call maintenance, that's a project that we could possibly work towards getting done with the on-call maintenance. And that'll be part of the 347,000 contingency as well.
Well, it depends on how you look at certain things. Most of these roads are not in District 1, but they're in Richburg. A lot of them.
Yes, sir.
There's a significant number of roads that are being paved that are in, like Fawn, Doe, Snell Grove, West Pinewood, all of those are perceived to be in Richburg. Clara's Court, even Clara's Court over there, that's all part of that. And they're in different districts, but those roads are being fixed out there because they need to be fixed.
Yes, sir.
Some of them you can't even get a fire truck on. So, it is what it is. But we do have a fair number of roads that we need to all look at that are, you got more roads, you got money. I know that. The
Yes,
state of South Carolina has more roads than they have money, so.
Yes, sir.
all right. Any more questions?
I got one more question from looking at the sheet. On page 2 of the one-time funded sheet, at the very bottom, you got Duke Street and Walnut Street, why are they separate from the District 2 column on the first page?
Sorry for the, if you look at page 1 of that, it's at large, is requesting that large councilperson requested those list of roads.
But there will be work done on them if we approve.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, hearing no further questions, I'll make a recommendation, we vote on both of these at one time, unless it's an objection. Hearing no objection, all in favor of approving, Mr. Hall's request on the number of roads to take care of in 2025, raise your right hand and say
I
aye.
think we need a second, right?
Oh, right, yeah, give us a motion on that. I want to move this thing right along.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll move that we approve the 2025 annual C funds and the one-time C funds as presented.
Okay, need a second.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Is any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. Unanimous vote. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, recommendations of road to be paid for 2025 using the one-time, I guess we did both of the B and C at the same time, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Was the motion for both of them? I didn't-
Yeah.
Okay, then you're
Motion
good.
for both of them at the same time, yeah. So we've taken care of B and C on that take, does anybody else have anything they'd like to?
I'd like to mention one thing, and I'm not hearing well, my hearing aids are terrible tonight, but Mr. Gilmore, your folks did a really good job on Lynn Road where that pulpwood down there at the end of it. Ever who supervised those people pulpwooding, they did not destroy the road, and we really appreciate that. We talked about that when they were doing the pulpwooding on that road, and you or somebody went over there and got them, and they didn't tear it up. So that's a good thing, saved the county a lot of money.
Okay. Any further comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Need a second?
Second.
Second, got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand and say